But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Yeah, he can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's
But in weight classes,
he's the most composed guy. Yeah. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
I think Crawford could beat Canelo.
Fighters break down why Canelo Alvarez is expected to dominate Terence Crawford. Boxing legend Mike Tyson isn't sold on this matchup, voicing serious concerns about Crawford's chances. He believes this fight isn't in Crawford's best interest, warning that stepping into the ring with Canelo might not end well for him. With Canelo's size, power, and relentless pressure, Tyson sees it as a dangerous challenge for Crawford, one that could prove too much to handle.
You guys see this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
Yeah, he can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. Just say he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
You posted the other day, there's a picture of you in a Rolls Royce, and you said, the quote is, "I can't remember how many of these I gave away." Tell me about that.
Yes, I don't know. Yes, when you used to have the money, it's safe. When I had money, you know, you're not accustomed to that shit, man.
Yeah, but not everybody's Mike Tyson. You're very generous. You're a genuine, nice person. Tillman told me that one time you lent him his car, he kept it for like 3 months or something.
I don't know, man, shit. Listen, if you have money and you can't help nobody with it, what the purpose?
David Benavidez views Canelo Alvarez as a source of motivation. He believes that the Yi's-Wan upcoming fight between Canelo and Crawford is a commendable matchup. Benavidez's respect for Canelo's skills and achievements in the ring underscores his positive outlook on the bout.
Come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question over here. But do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's, like, you know.
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but
Ryan Garcia emphasizes Canelo's physical advantages, noting his strength, size, and power. He argues that these attributes give Canelo a significant edge over Crawford, who is moving up in weight classes. Garcia believes that the substantial weight class difference could pose a considerable challenge for Crawford, making it difficult for him to overcome Canelo's physicality.
Great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. So yeah, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason,
Last question, Ali. He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
the
heard
winners
that.
would fight each other. Is that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm
What do you
down.
think of that?
I don't care. Let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Last one, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's just like there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there should be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about no lot?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know.
Sean Porter has expressed concern regarding how Crawford will handle Canelo's punching power, given Canelo's reputation for delivering powerful blows. Porter questions Crawford's ability to withstand such force, especially considering the jump in weight classes. This concern reflects the broader apprehension about Crawford's capacity to endure the physical demands of fighting a naturally larger opponent.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out.
Mikey Garcia predicts that Canelo will win the fight due to his size and power advantages. He suggests that these factors will play a crucial role in determining the outcome, with Canelo's physicality being a decisive element in the matchup.
Fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah. Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160. Yeah. Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. Yeah. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish. From 140, 147, now 154. That's even great for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154. He can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know, at that point, it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Bivol again. Yeah. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy.
Roy Jones Jr. has praised Canelo's abilities and acknowledges Crawford's desire to test himself against the best. He suggests that if Crawford cannot overcome Canelo, it could mark a significant turning point in his career, given Canelo's status as one of the top fighters in the sport.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, you know, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, you know, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do you got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy.
Robert Garcia has analyzed the fight and leans towards a Canelo victory. While specific details of his breakdown are not provided, his assessment aligns with the majority opinion favoring Canelo, likely considering factors such as size, power, and experience at higher weight classes. He also says that if Terence Crawford fights Canelo Alvarez, it will be because of the massive payday. He thinks Crawford has already achieved enough and doesn't need to fight anymore, as he has secured his future and lives a responsible life. However, if the fight happens, Garcia sees Crawford putting up a competitive 6 to 8 rounds before Canelo takes control. He acknowledges Crawford's skill and strength, but believes Canelo's power and size will overwhelm him in the later rounds. While Crawford may win the early rounds, Garcia ultimately sees Canelo dominating as the fight progresses.
What's a smart bet on Crawford-Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. If you have to bet,
yes.
I say Canelo by decision.
Crawford by decision.
No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's gonna happen. Canelo's gonna beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably gonna be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not gonna be close.
No, it's gonna be close.
3 weight class?
Maybe 3-4-1. ¿No crees?
Nah.
It's not gonna be that big of a deal. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just
who wins straight out?
I think it's gonna be maybe 3-1, 4-1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2-1. Maybe 2-1.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you, Eddie.
So they finally announced Ryu's fight. Gary Russell, what do you think? Not easy fight? No easy fights at this level?
That's just...
It's going to be, finally you guys will be, the first time you ever go on a Tank fight, right? To work a corner?
We got one at Tank's fight.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has expressed skepticism about Crawford's chances against Canelo, citing the significant weight difference as a primary concern. He finds it incredible that Crawford is attempting such a challenge, implying that the physical disparity may be too great to overcome.
Going to be able to bridge this weight gap.
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Gervonta Tank Davis has lauded Canelo, describing him as one of the top boxers of this era and a great fighter. While not directly commenting on the outcome of the fight, Davis's admiration for Canelo underscores the high regard in which he is held within the boxing community.
He's one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and he's a great fighter himself, so just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter is pretty, like, touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already, if we being real. I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys, Canelo probably the only one, but he's going out the door.
Teddy Atlas praises Canelo, saying that Canelo is bigger, stronger, and more powerful. He is a unified champion with impressive achievements. Handling a fighter of his caliber is a huge challenge. However, the question also arises whether Canelo can handle a smaller, faster, and more defensive fighter. Speed, agility, and movement could be key factors in this fight. Canelo has shown moments where he slows down, especially as he gets older. His opponent's slick footwork and defensive skills might create difficulties. While both fighters are aging, their styles and strengths will determine the outcome. Experience, strategy, and adaptability will play a major role in this matchup.
Canelo Alvarez, early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Madridov, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madridov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has weighed in on the matchup, acknowledging Crawford's skillfulness, but expressing concern about his ability to hurt Canelo. Smith fears that if Crawford cannot deliver impactful punches, Canelo will relentlessly pressure him, leveraging his power advantage.
But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. And that's where the problem lies.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him
I think it was
Robinson, Mayweather?
He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when the UFC event was at the Sphere. It's a fight he wants desperately. He wants badly. He says it's a legacy fight. He thinks about Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and others moving up in weight. And he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter.
The adult has expressed doubt about Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo's punches. He suggests that the power disparity could be a critical factor, with Crawford potentially struggling to withstand the heavy blows delivered by Canelo. Crawford's decision to move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo has been met with concern from various boxing professionals. Many believe that skipping multiple divisions to face the biggest fighter in the super middleweight class is a risky move, potentially putting Crawford at a considerable disadvantage due to the significant jump in weight and the challenges it entails.
Weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. Yes. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know him.
Bradley offers a more optimistic view. He acknowledges Canelo's size, but believes that Crawford's skills could enable him to prevail. Bradley suggests that Crawford's technical prowess and strategic approach might offset the size difference, giving him a legitimate chance to win. Contrary to many opinions favoring Canelo,